Hey, Dr. Wong, Ben Thomas here. I apologize for the quality of recording. This is all I really have to my access right now, so this is what we're working with. This is an outline of what I'll be talking about. I'll give you a brief intro and background on what my project was all about, and talk about how I did it, the problem, the solution I provided, and some recommendations at the very end, kind of a bottom line statement of what I think needs to be done. So, Newfield, my company, they were experiencing some extensive injuries in the Rocky Mountains business unit, and it caught the attention of corporate management, and that's when I came along in my internship, and they wanted me to figure it out. So that was my job. That was my job over the summer, and what they did was they gave me the master injury reports for 2011, 12, and 13. This was in 2013. And it came in a Excel document, which is easily uploaded into Spotfire, which is a software that lets you manipulate data. It happens to be very good at manipulating injury reports. So I looked at different things like the body parts affected, locations of the injuries, the nature of the injuries, time of day, and some other stuff like that, and trying to figure out if I can find any trends. And here's an example of the Excel document right here. It's pretty detailed. The picture doesn't really do it justice at all. So basically, in a 3-year span of 2011 to 13, our injuries had steadily increased, and naturally this catching the attention of the boys in the headquarters. I pulled this from a presentation that was given in Utah over the extensive injuries they were having, and this indicates that a good number of the injuries were finger related for 2011 and 2012. If we look at 2013, out of 164 injuries for the year, 48% of them, almost half, were finger injuries or finger related injuries, however you want to call it, which is very interesting, and it's a huge trend. So yeah, I found that trend pretty quickly when I was manipulating that data through Spotfire. So what kind of effect does this have on our reputation? It's a bad effect. It's horrible. People don't want to invest in us because we're a liability. We could be getting a lot of OSHA penalties for millions of dollars on end and go bankrupt. Our contractors will be reluctant to work with us because they don't want their name next to ours on TV saying how bad we are. And we could be losing current or future business because one company wants to endanger their employees more than they have to, because oil and gas business is dangerous, but there's an acceptable level of risk. So what's the solution? What's the best method of attack here? Now, after consulting with my peers and my management and using my own intuition and experience, I feel like a physical finger awareness training is the best way to get that number down. Because with a little bit of insight, you can see that it's poor body placement that's causing a lot of these injuries. So whether that be just not knowing or not caring, I don't know, but I do know that a physical training over the hazards and showing the struggle of missing digits will get the attention of some employees. And what I foresee happening is someone calling in a group of employees, taping their fingers down to simulate missing digits and or fingers, and having them do everyday tasks like playing catch, writing with a pen, tying their shoe, so they can feel the struggle or that they could have if they're missing a finger or two. And lastly, to train them on the hazards that are present out in their workplace, focusing on the finger hazards, because the guy with 10 years of experience may know all about it, but the guy sitting next to him, it could be his first day at work. So we can't assume that everybody knows what they're doing, because most of the time they don't, because we all know that the turnover rate in an oil and gas company is pretty quick. Materials that what type of materials would this training take? Well, not much. Maybe $50 worth of stuff, which is not very much at all. So worst case scenario is that we do the training and it doesn't work at all, and the company is in the hole for $50, which is a penny for an oil and gas company. So let's be modest here and say that we do the training and only half of the finger injuries are reduced. So that is 78 finger-related injuries divided by 2, which is 39. Okay, that's 31% of the total now. But let's just say it goes there. Now let's talk money real quick. Right now, Newfield could have spent over $6 million on the total injuries and just under $3 million for finger-related injuries alone. If we cut that number in half, we save $1.5 million roughly. That's a lot of money, even if it's just half the injuries, which I feel like this is something that's easy to take care of, and it will be more than just half the finger-related injuries reduced. But we'll call it 1.5, and we have $50 invested in it with our materials. It's well worth it, I think. Safety leadership. This is not going to work unless we have the support from corporate. We have our field supervisors leading the way. And let's talk about this for a second, because this is huge. Say we have a great training, and then we go back in the field, and none of our leadership in the field is leading by example. This is not good. There's moments of high influence, and there's a book that talks about this. That when sometimes life presents opportunities where a leader is kind of put to the test, and the employees are watching. So you gotta watch what you do, because you have a huge impact on the success of this finger awareness training or any training, and you really have a huge effect on the employees, on their judgment, because they find out right from wrong from you. And when I say you, I'm talking about the field supervisors. There's a lot of psychology involved, and hey, you gotta be out in the field. You gotta have field presence. You gotta be out there to do this stuff, so you can build relationships with your employees. So they can come to you and say, hey, this is going on and it's making me nervous. This is unsafe. And we would rather have that take place and be told about it than someone having to sacrifice themselves and get injured or killed first to figure it out. So safety leadership is huge, and that's something that's definitely missing in my company for the most part. The downside, this is training. It's administrative control. The hazard's still there. The training won't eliminate the hazard, but what it will do is decrease the likelihood and frequency of fingers getting hurt. This is important to know when you are evaluating the training, because you need to know what you're going to get out of it, or what you're expecting to get out of the training. This is not an engineering control. We're not removing the hazard or removing the person. It's still there, but now we're training on how to control those hazards. Basically, in conclusion, I feel like the finger awareness training is the most cost-efficient and effective method to address the issue that we have in Utah. But it's only possible, or the success is only possible, if our leadership leads the way in safety. So my recommendation is to immediately approve a budget for this finger awareness training and immediately execute it, so we can start addressing the issue. We need a criteria for evaluating the format, so we know if it's working or not. If it's something we need to continue doing, we need to get our employees involved in developing the actual format and process of the training, and they need to be involved on the evaluation as well, because employee involvement is crucial. just because indirectly they buy into the stuff, and they have some investment in it, and they'll in turn start believing in it, if you will. We need to have safety leadership meetings to train our leaders on how to be good leaders. So that's it. That's all I have for you. I hope it was satisfactory. Dr. Wong, I appreciate all you've done for me and my fellow students throughout the years. I've had a great time. I'm so glad I came to OSU and got my degree in fire protection and safety. I can't wait to go to work and apply my knowledge. So I wish you the best of luck, and have a good rest of the summer.